Good morning. It is day 9 and welcome to Transform Your Life in 15 minutes. I want to take a little time out to thank you for taking time out of your day, out of your 24 hours to join me in this 30-day challenge. This is to Transform Your Life where we're going to be doing 5-minute exercises on the mind, the body, and the soul. For the mind, we're reading the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And for the body exercise, we're doing the sun salutations from yoga. And then for the soul exercises, we're doing the 5-minute meditation focusing on our breathing. So if this is your first day, welcome, welcome. And we are in the book. And so far, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and get started with this because this is an exciting reading today. Like we're actually learning now how to control that self-image. But so far in this book, we learned that we have an internal guidance system. And this is based upon our self-image. And this system basically lets us know whether or determines whether or not we succeed our goals. And so what we learned about yesterday was that we are literally engineered for success. Like we're programmed, like God programmed us for success. And we also have access to a higher power. So I'm anxious to figure out or find out how we start accessing that higher power so that we can then re-engineer ourselves to succeed in the goals that we want to. Now, by the way, if you have just logged in, or I should say just found me, or it's your first time seeing this video, they all are recorded. So they're all on my Facebook page. You can just go to the videos, but I also have them on my YouTube channel. And by the way, when it comes to the yoga and the meditation, I've actually filmed separate videos. So if right now, like for instance, while I'm doing the yoga, I don't want you to watch me. I want you to join in with me. So in case you're like, well, I would like to join, but I got to watch to see what you're doing. Well, I filmed a totally separate video on how to do the yoga sun salutations, and I walk you through it. Likewise, I also went through and filmed a separate video on how to do the meditation. So those videos are found on my YouTube channel. Just search for me, P. McAdams, and you'll find it. And then today, I'm actually going to film a separate video, and I'm going to tell my story on how I was attracted to this particular book here. Because what we're going to find out is, or what you're going to see is, or what I'm going to reveal, is that my story is similar to Dr. Maltz and how we're trying to help people, we're trying to figure out what's going on. But my story is very similar to him. That's all I'm going to say. Look for the video later on today, and it'll explain my connection with him as it relates to this particular book. Now, before I get started in today's reading, good morning, good morning. Hi, Nisi. See, that's a BFF, always supporting you. Thank you, Nisi. And then again, like for instance, guys, right now I have my glasses on, so if you're joining me, I can see your picture. As far as reading, I'm too far away from my iPad to see the reading, but I do appreciate you joining me live and watching the recording. All right, so back to what I was saying. So it's important to understand that Dr. Maxwell Maltz, he's actually a plastic surgeon. So when we start reading today, understand that he's a plastic surgeon, and then he got into he actually coined the phrase psycho-cybernetics. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Love you too, Nisi. So sweet. I'm doing it. Okay, so chapter 3 is imagination, the first key to your success mechanism. Imagination plays a far more important role in our lives than most of us realize. I have seen this demonstrated many times in my practice. A particular memorable instance of this fact concerned a patient who was literally forced to visit my office by his family. He was a man of about 40, unmarried, who held down a routine job during the day and kept to himself in his room when the workday was over, never going anywhere and never doing anything. He had had many such jobs and never seemed able to stay with any of them for any great length of time. His problem was that he had a rather large nose and ears that protruded a little more than normal. He considered himself ugly and funny looking. He imagined that the people he came into contact with during the day were laughing at him and talking about him behind his back because he was so odd. His imaginings grew so strong that he actually feared going out in the business world and moving around people. He hardly felt safe, even in his own home. The poor man even imagined that his family was ashamed of him because of his peculiar looking, not like other people. Actually, his facial deficiencies were not that serious. His nose was of the classical Roman type, and his ears, though somewhat large, attracted no more attention than those of thousands of people with similar ears. In desperation, his family brought him to me to see if I could help him. I saw that he did not need surgery, only an understanding of the fact that his imagination had wrought such havoc with his self-image that he had lost sight of the truth. He was not really ugly. People did not consider him odd and laugh at him because of his appearance. His imagination alone was responsible for his misery. His imagination had set up an automatic negative failure mechanism within him, and it was operating full blast to his extreme misfortune. Fortunately, after several sessions with me and with the help of his family, he was able gradually to realize that the power of his own imagination was responsible for his plight, and he succeeded in building up a true self-image and achieving the confidence he needed by applying creative imagination rather than destructive imagination. Creative imagination is not something reserved for the poets, the philosophers, or the inventors. It enters into our every act. For imagination sets the goal picture that our automatic mechanism works on. We act or fail to act, not because of will, as is so commonly believed, but because of imagination. Let me read that again, because this is good. We act or fail to act, not because of will, which is commonly believed, but because of imagination. A human being always acts and feels and performs in accordance with what he imagines to be true about himself and his environment. That was a good one too. A human being always acts and feels and performs in accordance with what he imagines to be true about himself and his environment. This is the basic and fundamental law of mind. It is the way we were built. When we see the law of mind graphically and dramatically demonstrated in a hypnotic subject, we are prone to think that there is something occult or supernormal at work. Actually, what we are witnessing is the normal operating process of the human brain and the nervous system. For example, if a good hypnotic subject is told that he is at the North Pole, he will not only shiver and appear to be cold, but his body will react as if he were cold, and goose pimples will appear. The same phenomena also has been demonstrated on the wide-awake college students by asking them to imagine that one of their hands is immersed in ice water. Thermometer readings show that the temperature does drop in the treated hand. Tell a hypnotized subject that his finger is a red-hot poker, he will not only grimace with pain at your touch, but his cardiovascular and lymphatic systems will react just as if your finger were a red-hot poker and produce inflammation, and perhaps a blister on the skin. When college students wide awake have been told to imagine that a spot on their forehead is hot, temperature readings have shown an actual increase in skin temperature. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between imagined experience and real experience. In either case, it reacts automatically to information that you give to it from your forebrain. Your nervous system acts appropriately to what you think or imagine to be true. All right, good stuff. So again, just to, as I'm moving on to the next part, our brain is powerful, and we all have the key to what we're looking for within us. There's no need to look outside of you. It's all within you. All right. So now, I forgot to turn the lights on tonight, or this morning, from last night. Okay, so we're walking down my hall of positivity. This is where I have all my quotes. And these are basically quotes that I like to surround myself by positivity. And guys, I know you're like, okay, stop and talk. But remember, this is a 15-minute challenge. And I want you to be able to fast forward, because a lot of times people tell me, you know what, I don't have time to watch all of it, but I do take time to watch it in 5-minute segments. So if that's the case, I want to make sure that you can kind of fast forward and be right on time. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the yoga portion. We're going to do some sun salutations, and then immediately following, we're going to go into our meditation. All right, let's make sure you can see here. I forgot my phone again. Jeez. This is like the third time I've forgotten my cell phone. Sorry, I'm hurrying. Hi, if you just joined me, welcome to the challenge. Well, we're about to start the yoga portion as soon as I got my cell phone, and then we'll get started. And of course my music is not ready for me. There we go. It is ready. Okay, moving on to the meditation. Make sure that you're seated in a nice comfortable position. Relax your body, clear your mind. As the thoughts start to gently roll through, gently just push them aside and focus on your breath. We're inhaling for a count of 1, exhaling for a count of 2, using Ujjayi breathing. relax, and return fresh and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. Okay, that concludes day 9 of the 30-day challenge. Transform your life in 15 minutes. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. Bye.